Constitution was violated in a most egregious way. It ends up being a violation of our public trust and a personal affront to the values of this particular city, Seattle. Having reviewed the video and the information that's been presented, the Seattle King County NAACP and its executive committee have decided that we have no choice but to request that charges be filed against the detective in this particular case that made racial slurs as he hit and kicked a man who was face down on his stomach. The charge that we have asked the King County prosecutor to file against this particular individual is that of malicious harassment. And the key phrases in that particular revised Code of Washington, which is 9A.36.080, is that a person is guilty of malicious harassment if he or she maliciously and intentionally commits one of the following acts because of his or her perception of the victim's race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, mental, physical, or sensory handicap. The critical portion of this statute involves Section C, which involves when a person is threatened, when somebody threatens a specific person or group of persons and places that person or members of that specific group of persons in reasonable fear of harm to persons or property. The fear must be specific. The fear must be a fear that a reasonable person would have under all circumstances. For purposes of this section of the RCW, a reasonable person is a reasonable person who is a member of the victim's race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, etc., etc. In this particular case, when you have a detective standing over a defenseless person saying that they will kick the Mexican out of them, this is malicious harassment. This is clearly a hate crime. And the NAACP has to be clear in that we receive calls often about exactly this sort of claim, but it is rare for us to be in a place where there is actually video and recording of the incident. So when we have video and recording of an incident such as this, it is critical that the prosecutors of this county that we have put in place to uphold the law file hate crime charges. But let's be clear. In addition to charges, we are deeply concerned that several other officers stood idly by and did not step in the way in the interest of protecting public safety.